We recommend that cases be filed under Section 6, Crimes Against Humanity, under the International Humanitarian Law, Republic Act 9851, against former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, former PNP Chief Oscar David Albayalde, and former PNP Chief De Bolsinas, among others. The war on drugs, while touted as the formidable solution to the country's drug menace, had resulted in the systematic violations of our constitutional rights to life, human dignity, and due process. Alam ko, ibabas na naman ako na DDS pagkatapos nito. Gusto kong makinig kayong lahat. Alamin nyo nung muna ang batas. Bago nyo kami murahin, bago nyo kami latiin, alamin nyo muna ang batas.
Honorable Abante is recognized to deliver his sponsorship speech.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker and distinguished colleagues in Congress, at lahat po ng ating mga kababayan na nakikinig dito at sa ating website ngayong hapon na ito. Gusto ko lang pong sabihin unang-una, Mr. Speaker, the time of reckoning has come. Nakalagay po sa Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 2. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. Kung iniisip po natin na magagawa mo ang gusto mong gawin, na hindi mo sinusunod ang saligang batas, dahil nasa kapangyarihan ka, nais kong sabihin, Mr. Speaker, na matatapos din ang mga bagay na yan at ikaw ay hatulan ng taong bayan. Ito pong House of Representatives ay ang bahay po ng taong bayan, sapagkat tayong lahat ay inelect ng taong bayan upang tayo ay magbusisi ng lahat ng katiwalaang nangyayari sa ating pamahalaan. I consider this a divine blessing to be able to rise today as the chair of the House Committee on Human Rights and co-chair of the Quad Committee to share the initial findings and recommendations of our inquiry, particularly into the extrajudicial killings that occurred during the previous administration's war on drugs. Inuulit ko po, Mr. Speaker, kakampi ako ng dating administrasyon kapag pinag-uusapan po ang pag-alis ng droga sa ating bansa. Sinabi ko po ito sa ating dating Pangulo, ang hindi ko lang maintindihan kung bakit kinakailangan merong mapatay na more than 30,000 people upang mawala ang drugs na ito. Nawala ba ang drugs? Hindi. Nandun pa rin, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, there is a season for everything and a time for every purpose under the heaven, as made clear by the Lord in chapter 3 of the book of Ecclesiastes. This is the most opportune time for the Joint Committee on Dangerous Drugs, Public Order and Safety, Public Accounts, and the Committee on Human Rights to present to you a progress report on our inquiry in aid of legislation. After 13 rigorous and thorough hearings of the so-called Quad Committee, we are confident that we have gathered substantial findings backed by competent evidence to make the requisite recommendations to this legislative body and to the appropriate government agencies for appropriate and decisive action. There was systematic violation of human rights and blatant disregard of due process. The deep probe into the extrajudicial killings, or AGKs, that occurred during the administration of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's war on drugs yielded a far deeper tragedy into the lives of the Filipino people rather than the protection and preservation thereof that it was heralded to accomplish. The numbers, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues, speak the scary truth. According to data from the Philippine National Police from July 1, 2016 to June 30 of 2022, 7,640 individuals were killed in official police operations. Of these documented deaths, 7,173 were drug pushers, 440 were drug users that should have been rehabilitated, not killed, and only 21 were drug lords. Mr. Speaker, from as far back as May 15, 2024, when my committee started digging into the EJ case, we had been presented with multiple reports indicating that there had been massive nationwide drug-related killings within the period July 2016 to June 2022. The killings were classified either as police operations or perpetrated by unknown perpetrators, which is no different from the Sinaloa type of killings in Latin America, which were notorious at the time, the drug cartel in Latin America. The 2017 year-end accomplishment report of the Duterte administration highlighted as key accomplishments, my dear Speaker, the deaths of 3,967 drug personalities and 16,355 homicide cases under investigation as of 30 September 2017. The PNP reported that there was a total of 7,640 illegal drug suspects who died in police operations, 2,053 of which were recorded in the first 6 months of the Duterte presidency from July to December 2016. No less than the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights noted that there were at least 8,663 drug-related killings as of February of 2019, while academic research, the HUS project of the Third World Studies, University of the Philippines, gathered around 5,348 recorded deaths. The Free Legal Assistance Group cited unassailable data in a Supreme Court en banc extended resolution that indicated that the Duterte administration's anti-drug war from July 1, 2016 to November 27, 2017 recorded a staggering total of 20,322 deaths, or a daily average of 39.46 deaths. Mr. Speaker, and my dear colleagues, was the war on drugs truly aimed at dismantling the drug syndicates and put an end to this illegal and immoral trade? Or was it an all-out assault on the poor and vulnerable to cover up the former? Gusto ba talaga nitong durugin ang mga drug lords at ang illegal drug industry? O durugin lamang ang mga mahihirap upang pagtakpan ang mga may kinalaman o kaugnayan sa problemang ito? Clearly, the war on drugs, while touted as the formidable solution to the country's drug menace, had resulted in the systematic violations of our constitutional rights to life, human dignity, and due process. Ang sagradong buhay na tanging bigay ng Poong May Kapal ay hindi kailanman dapat pawiin ng sinuman. Ang sabi po ng Diyos, "Thou shalt not kill." But the war on drugs resonated a policy of kill, kill, kill. As the former president has always said, shoot them dead. The role of leadership in a culture of impunity. How did we get here? Paano ito nangyari? One cannot look at all the evidence and not come to this credible and undeniable conclusion that former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's public pronouncements encouraged, facilitated, and normalized the killings and emboldened some of our policemen who are supposed to be the protectors of the people to carry out the same. His release of unverified narco lists further exacerbated the violence as individuals were targeted based on flawed, inconsistent, and malicious information. Isa sa mga biktima nito, si former Iloilo City Mayor Jed Patrick Mabilog. In 2014, then Mayor Mabilog was named as I quote, top 5 best and outstanding mayors in the world. In the 2014 World Mayor Awards, mula sa short list ng best mayors in the world na isama sa drug list ni Pangulong Duterte, nasira ang pangalan ni Mayor Mabilog. He was forced to relocate himself and his family to a foreign land, and he was threatened with death, all because of unverified, unreliable list. We discovered, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues, that the previous administration's war on drugs was fueled by a perverse reward system that incentivized extrajudicial killings under what we now know as the Davao model. Ano ang Davao model? Under this system, police officers were given monetary rewards for killing drug suspects, transforming the duty of law enforcement from a system driven by justice into a system driven by bounties. Testimonies from Police Lieutenant Colonel Jovi Espinido, Police Colonel Ruyima Garma, and other officials confirmed the existence of this system. Malinaw ang testimonya nila. Salapi ng sagradong buhay, Mr. Speaker. In a civilized society that upholds the rule of law and due process, there is no rhyme or reason for such diabolical attacks on the sanctity of life of every human being. But it was President Duterte himself who provided the legal cover for those killings. The narrative of nanlaban or fought back became the legal justification for these operations. as PRRD himself encouraged officers to provoke suspects into resisting arrest, which was he admitted in one of the hearings conducted, providing legal cover for the use of lethal force. That's the reason why I even asked the question to our former president, was your policy a personal policy, or was it based upon the Constitution? There was a grand conspiracy. In the course of our hearings, we exposed disturbing cases where killings were carried out for monetary rewards or as part of orchestrated operations. First, the 3 Chinese nationals and convicted drug lords Chu Kin-tung, Li Lanyang, and Wong Mengpin were killed under orders for a payment of 1 million pesos per person. During our hearings, person deprived of liberty, Leopoldo Tan, testified that former President Duterte personally congratulated officials involved, saying, and I quote, "Congrats, Superintendent Padilla, job well done." Pero grabe yung ginawang dinuguan. End of quote. Alam ko, ibabas na naman ako na ma-DDS pagkatapos nito. Gusto kong makinig kayong lahat. Alamin nyo nung muna ang batas. Bago nyo kami murahin, bago nyo kami latiin, alamin nyo muna ang batas. Sapagkat dito po, sa house na ito, ay pinaglalaban namin hindi lamang ang katuwiran ng bawat tao, kundi ang tinatawag nating sanctity of life. Second, the assassination of Police General Wesley Barayuga, na binanggit na ng aming chairman. Witnesses testified that Barayuga was killed under instructions from police officials with a reward of 300,000 pesos given for his murder. Police Colonel Grijaldo, na kinontempo namin sa aming last Quadcom hearing. Nandito po siya ngayon. Maaari narinig niya. Anong ginawa niya nung siya ang Chief of Police ng Mandaluyong City? Nang general na ito ay pinatay doon sa Mandaluyong. Walang police report, walang investigation report, walang ginawa ang Chief of Police na ito. Siya ba'y tinanggal sa pagiging Chief of Police? Hindi, mga kaibigan. Samantalang yan palagi ang SOP ng Philippine National Police. We heard testimony that revealed that police officers had killed quotas and were rewarded for complying with them. Police Lieutenant Colonel Espinido detailed that a 20,000 peso reward was paid per kill. Yan po ang kanyang statement. Our investigation also unearthed cases where the drug war served as a tool to eliminate competition among drug syndicates. Witnesses such as Mr. Kerwin Espinosa and former police officials SPO3 Artunio Las Cañas and Police Colonel Eduardo Acerto revealed the dark reality of a policy that prioritized kill, kill, kill over jail, jail, jail. Mr. Speaker, more data reveal how every effort was made to ensure that those involved in these killings were spared from the consequences of their actions. Of the over 8,351 deaths, the PNP's Internal Affairs Service reported that 99.17% of cases resulted in the exoneration of police officers. Just imagine. Of the 32,803 policemen charged for operations, only 30 were dismissed. These numbers expose a justice system that failed the victims and their families. Out of all this bloodshed, ano naman ang naging impact sa paggamit ng droga? Mr. Speaker, the Dangerous Drugs Board admitted that the drug war resulted in only a slight decline in drug use. The figure of 4 million drug users that former President Duterte cited at the start of his term had no verified basis. Sinabi pa niya na itong si Adolf Hitler pumatay ng 3 milyon ng mga Hudyo. Mali pa ang sinabi niya. 6 million po ang napatay niya. Kaya dapat patayin ang 3 milyon ng mga drug pushers. Ganun po ba ang dapat katawiran ng isang pangulo ng isang democratic country? Hindi po tayo terorista. Hindi tayo komunista. Hindi tayo diktadorya. Tayo po ay demokrasya. Mr. Speaker, as a result of this hearing, we filed House Bill number 10986, an act classifying and penalizing extrajudicial killings as a heinous crime, providing reparation for the victims, and strengthening the mechanism for its prevention. This bill, otherwise known as the Anti-Extrajudicial Killing Act, defines extrajudicial killing as any killing other than that imposed by the state pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution on heinous crimes, or a deliberate and arbitrary killing of any person not authorized by a previous judgment pronounced by a competent court, committed by a public officer, personal authority, agent of a personal authority, or any person who is acting under the actual or apparent authority of the state. Under this measure, extrajudicial killing is classified as a heinous crime, punishable by life imprisonment. Monetary reparation between 250,000 pesos to 500,000 pesos, as well as a non-monetary reparation, will be granted to victims and their families to be determined by the extrajudicial killing claims board proposed under the bill. Sana po maging batas na po ito. Next, we recommend the passage of a death in custody or under Police Operations Act. This will institutionalize official recording and reporting of deaths during police operations in custody with mandatory annual reports as submitted to Congress, DOJ, and the CHR. The establishment of a national interagency investigative body, an independent agency tasked to investigate EJKs and the other human rights abuses committed by state and non-state actors. The creation of an independent international affairs service that is autonomous to ensure accountability free from the PNP influence. We also recommend the filing of appropriate charges against officials responsible for these atrocities. We recommend that cases be filed under Section 6, Crimes Against Humanity, under the International Humanitarian Law, Republic Act 9851, against former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, former PNP Chief Oscar David Albayalde, and former PNP Chief de Bolsinas among others. We also recommend reparations for victims of EJK, strengthening the Commission on Human Rights, and enacting prevention measures to ensure that none of these horrendous abuses to human rights will ever happen again. Mga kababayan, as stewards of justice and as the representatives of our people, it is our moral and sacred duty to hold the perpetrators accountable and to uphold the value of every human life. Nais ko sang sabihin sa inyo na ang distrito ko po ay drug-free. Pero walang napatay. Kahit isa. Pwede naman pala eh. Pwede naman pala na ang isang syudad, ang isang bayan, ang isang distrito, pwedeng mawala ang drugs na hindi mo kinakailangan pumatay. Mga kaibigan, my dear speaker, my dear colleagues, I know that this is a season of giving, love, and forgiveness. And may this also be a season of healing, but never giving up on justice and truth. Maraming salamat po at maligayang Pasko sa inyong lahat.